Let's go over our remaining JPY pairs. Here we have a rejection candle on weekly time frame on CHF JPY. As you can see, very big wick from the upper side, rejecting this zone in red, found objectively on daily time frame 1, 2, 3, 4, and this long-term trend line in brown. So we are overall bearish on this one as long as it's still below our red zone. If we zoom into H4, we don't have any objective setup yet. On H1 we only have this objective trend line, 1, 2, 3 touches, and here's our last swing standing. So we are only interested in buying this one after a momentum candle close above this last swing standing and the red zone if we want to be extra conservative. So now we are waiting for an objective short setup to form here to sell this one, or for a break above this last swing standing and the red zone to buy this one. So let's wait on this one. CAD JPY. On weekly we have a big momentum candle closing above our red zone after this massive rejection candle as discussed last week. On H4 we have a 1 histogram divergence, and on H1 we are waiting for the third touch around this trend line to be objective, and then we'll consider this third touch as our last swing standing and enter on its break upward. So now we only have two confluences while waiting for the third one to be our trigger, and we will buy this one. NZD JPY. On weekly we have a big momentum candle engulfing the previous rejection candle. On daily, price is sitting above our red zone, so we are only looking for long opportunities here. Now we are waiting for a new dot to form here to consider it our last swing standing and enter on its break upward. AUD JPY. On weekly we have a bullish momentum candle engulfing the previous two candles, means that the bulls are in control now. But on daily and H4, as you can see, price is still below our red zone, so we are only looking for short setups for now. However, on H1 we have like a hard to see inverse head and shoulders, and we have an objective trend line now forming. Now we are waiting for the third touch to form around this trend line to consider it our last swing standing and enter on its break upward. If we have a red dot around here, would have two confluences only, objective trend line and head and shoulders, so it's not an A setup as it's still below our red zone and only two confluences. It's always better to wait for it to break above this zone to look for long opportunities. So let's wait on AUD JPY to form an objective setup here as a short entry, or break above our red zone to think about buying this one. Euro JPY, our last JPY and first Euro pair. On weekly we have a shy bullish candle with a wick from the upper side, means that the bulls found resistance around this level, our red zone. We can see it better on H4, price was shooting up but couldn't trade any higher when it gets to our red zone. On H1 we have a divergence, an objective trend line, price is now around it. So we have one confluence, our rejection zone is the second, and this trend line retest is our third confluence, and we've got a double top around here. So our last swing standing would be this swing here, but it's better to wait to a candle close below 124 to sell this one. Euro AUD, we have big bearish momentum candles pushing price lower, rejecting our blue zone. On H1 we had this entry opportunity last week, and we waited for a retest around 1.615. The retest happened to the pip while I was asleep around 3 AM, so I personally didn't catch this one. If you caught it, please keep holding as it's now around 1 hour. Euro NZD, just like Euro AUD, we have big momentum candles pushing price lower on daily and weekly time frame, rejecting this zoning day. On H4 we have a 1 histogram divergence and a head and shoulders pattern found objectively on H1. Here we also have an objective trend line, that's our first confluence. Our second confluence is our head and shoulders pattern, and third confluence is our gray zone. So 3 confluences are enough to consider this one as a potential setup. Here's our last swing standing of this trend line, which also acts as our last swing standing of this neckline of the head and shoulders. So we didn't catch this trade last week, so now we are waiting for a retest to sell this one. Euro CHF. On weekly we have a shy bullish candle with a wick from the upper side as price found resistance around this trend line in blue, found objectively on H4. Last week we were waiting for a candle close above our last swing standing to buy this one, but as mentioned, price found rejection around here. So now we have 2 scenarios. We can wait for a sell setup to form around here, an objective setup to sell this one, or we can wait for a new red dot to form around here to consider it our new last swing standing to buy this one. EuroCAD, our last euro pair. As mentioned last week, I'm still waiting for EuroCAD to get till around this level to look for long opportunities around here, unless price created a new blue dot around this objective trend line and breaks it downward. Now let's go over our remaining GBP pairs. GBP CHF weekly time frame, we have 2 bullish rejection candles rejecting this red zone found objectively on daily time frame, and the divergence about to be completed. On H4, as mentioned last week, we have a trio retest here, which is this objective trend line in blue and this one in orange, and our horizontal level 1.23. On H1, we are still waiting for a candle close above our last swing standing to buy this one. GBP JPY. On weekly and daily time frame, we have bullish candles, but price didn't break our red zone yet. So on H1, we are still waiting for a candle close above our red zone and last swing standing to buy this one. GBP NZD. On weekly and daily time frame, we have bullish rejection candles, as you can see, big wick pushing price higher. On H1, we had this sell opportunity as price broke below our last swing standing, but then found support around this last swing standing of our H4 setup. As you can see here, we have mixed signals. On H4 we have a long opportunity, however on H1 we have a sell opportunity. I personally didn't enter this one as I don't enter new trades on Fridays, so I'm staying away from this pair for now until it breaks below this last swing standing, then I'll consider selling this one. GBP AUD. We had a sell opportunity around here last week, but I personally didn't catch it. If you caught it, you should have your stop loss on entry right now as it reached 1 hour, so keep holding and we will look for long opportunities when it gets to our red zone. Our last pair for this weekly overview is going to be GBP CAD. Nothing special here except this short-term setup on M30. As discussed last week, I'll be waiting for short opportunities around our blue zone and long opportunities around our red zone.